Hello YouTube, Doug Anderson here. The first video I have made in years. Literally, I think it's 2012 or something the last time I made a video. So what's the video going to be about today? Today we're going to cover Napoleon Hill's book, The Law of Success in 16 Lessons. Now, many of you may be familiar with Napoleon Hill's work, Think and Grow Rich, which is a fine book. It's all about mindset and whatnot. But previously to that, in 1925, Napoleon Hill wrote this book, which is far better, called The Laws of Success in 16 Lessons. I'll put a link in the description where you can get a copy. But what I wanted to go through with you today is this massive mind map that I drew as I was reading the book. I literally read the book cover to cover. It's a page turner. It's a beautifully written book, but it's massive. It's over 400 pages and there is a lot of content. It is the de facto manifesto on success. So I did two things. Of course, because I systemized everything, I made a mind map of the entire book, which I'm going to run through very quickly with you here. And the second thing I did is I made a summary. Now, the summary may not make much sense to you until you kind of read the book and go through the mind map. So what I'm going to do is quickly run through the mind map, and then I'm going to read the summary. And if that piques your curiosity to read the book, I very much encourage you to read the book. It's a beautiful read. It's a fantastic book, and it really sets up your mindset for success. So the first chapter he goes through is called The Definite Plan, or The Definite Aim. And I believe in this 100%. You need to know where you're going in order to get there. And essentially he says you have to have this burning desire and a passion towards where you're going. And keep it top of mind. And I've known this personally. I've had goals in my mind. For example, in October 25th, 2018, I wished that I had a button on my phone that I could press and magically update everyone with my address, because I missed a couple of big checks in the mail and because they didn't have my updated address. After moving around in the Navy for 20 years, you tend to have addresses that are way, way, way out of date. Presto, a couple of years later, after thinking about that technology and reading newsletters, boom, I now have that ability in my hand. But that all boils down to having a definite plan. The next chapter is about self-confidence. Essentially, you have to believe in yourself to be successful. Well, that goes without saying. He goes into then self-control. You have to be able to control your thoughts, control your mind, because that controls your actions. Now, this is probably the critical chapter, chapter 5, action. And the 1925 version of this book contains this chapter called action. If you read subsequent publications by the Napoleon Hill Foundation, for example, the 1928 version does not include this chapter. And there's a bit of a conspiracy as to why the chapter was excluded. You know, Henry Ford got a hold of the original book and said, oh, I can't have this book out in public because if my employees read this book, I won't have any employees left because they'll all be so successful because they'll all take action. So they removed this action chapter out of subsequent versions. So I highly recommend you read the 1928 or 25 version, not the 28 version of this book. And I'll put the right link in the description. The next thing he goes into is over delivering, under promise and over delivering. Again, 75 to 100-year-old advice. He goes into enthusiasm. Who wants to listen to a video where the guy's talking like this very energetically about the topic? Well, nobody does. You got to have enthusiasm towards what you do. And if you have a definite aim that you're passionate about, you're going to be enthusiastic towards that. Next chapter was imagination. If you're creating something that's never been created before, you literally have to start with your imagination, envision it, and then create it. And this ties together with the definite aim because you're not there yet. It hasn't been made. Imagination, great chapter. Then he goes into accurate thought. Rely on facts, information. Don't rely on opinion and that sort of thing. And of course, you control your thought because you've read the chapter about self-control. Way up into the top corner here, attractive personality. You gotta have an attractive personality. People want to be around people who are energetic and attractive. Magnetic personality. He covers all of that in the book. Concentration. You need to concentrate on your definite aim through until completion. If you get distracted or you lose focus, you're not going to get there. That's about success. Remember, it's the law of success in 16 lessons. You're trying to be successful, and here's how. He talks about tolerance, tolerance for others that are different from you, how to treat others, how to think about others, failure, really, really important chapter, right up there with action and failure, right? The twin brothers of success. Temporary defeat. You got to get through it. You got to have a fresh start. You got to keep going. It's a process of elimination. Fantastic chapter. Goes into initiative and leadership. Chances are you're not going to be able to get to your definite aim on your own. You're going to need help. You're going to need to lead people. There's no such thing as a self-made success, self-made millionaire. It just doesn't happen. Nobody does it on their own. No. You're going to need, partners, friends, family, whatever, to cooperate with you. The next chapter, cooperation. He goes into what kind of cooperation you have. Successful people are organizers, and they beat the competition because they cooperate. The penultimate chapter, the golden rule, do unto others as you would like to have done unto you. But actually it's do unto others as they would like you to do unto them, because everybody's different. So they may want you to treat them differently than you want to be treated. Great chapter about the golden rule. And then lastly, he goes in here, let me zoom in so you guys can see this. He goes into the three most important are the concentration, the cooperation, and the coordination of all of these things. So that is, in a whirlwind tour, my mind map. And let's see the agenda here much better. Oh, yes. So the whole book I have summarized into one essential paragraph, and that goes as follows. By using self-control of my thoughts, and you'll see in this paragraph, I've buried every single concept in the book in one paragraph. And literally, you should do this with any book you read, because you may buy a book, you're probably not going to read it twice. You might read it twice if it's a really, really good book. This book, if I had the time, I would read again. But by summing the entire book up in one paragraph and embedding the chapter titles in there, I don't have to read the book again. All I have to do is read this in the morning, and I basically reread the entire book. So I find this very powerful. By using self-control of my thoughts, I will concentrate my actions on my definite aim through till its completion as I have imagined it. With self-confidence, I'll use my attractive personality to initiate organized effort of others to enthusiastically take massive action in performing more services than paid, in the same manner or better than I would expect for myself, with tolerance for others along the way, knowing that I can overcome any challenges I may meet along the way to success, and also knowing that I will eventually be paid either directly or indirectly with compound interest through the law of increasing returns. So there you have it, folks. An entire book in one paragraph. I don't want to discourage you from reading the book. This is just my summary. You're free to have, you're free to have copies of this. And I hope you enjoyed this video review of Napoleon Hill's Law of Success in 16 lessons. Hopefully I won't be a stranger to making videos anymore, and I'll be back with more good stuff for you. Now remember, this video is free, and what other free things are? Likes are free. So smash the like button, and if you want to subscribe and get notified, that's cool too. All right, we'll see you all next time.